Hello everybody, I am Gratton and today I'm back with another video talking about the B&M ranges for Doctor Who this year. This is very exciting stuff. Today the wonderful Aldoir posted a video on the Character Options YouTube page talking about the new B&M Doctor Who releases for this year. B&M Doctor Who sets have been coming out a few times over the last couple of years, last few years actually, and they've been getting better and better and better more recently. To the point where now we've got to a point where, you know, we're getting Tardis releases and all that sort of things, and now we're getting some exclusive new kind of figure molds and stuff. So yeah, there's 8 new sets to go through today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you them, talk through them, talk what's new about them, talk what the same is, all that sort of thing, and then I'm just going to give my opinion on it, and I'm going to tell you whether or not I'll buy it, because that's an important thing as well that I want to kind of get over, because you know, it'll be a bit of fun, you know, something a bit fun. And at the end of this video as well, we're going to talk about the 13th Doctor range for Series 12, which is coming out probably around January, which includes a photo of the Flight Control 13th Doctor TARDIS and technically the 3 companion figures for Yaz, Graham and Ryan at the end of this video. So we're going to talk about that as a little bonus extra add-on. But for now, let's talk about the B&M sets that are coming out this year. Now, presumably this is coming around August, September. I'm not 100% like when these are actually coming out, but it seems that they're pretty much ready to go. They've got the boxes ready, they've got the sets ready. But we'll start with the first TARDIS set that we've got, and yes, I do mean first. There is more than one this time, which is incredibly exciting and fun. Not so much from a bank account, but yeah. So this is the 5th Doctor in Sardis from Caves of Androzani. Looking at the figure first. The figure is the 5th Doctor, box standard 5th Doctor, with the sort of scalded, burnt side of his coat from that story. Makes sense, and it's a nice little bonus to have. I personally quite like it. I don't think this is a unique figure. I'm pretty sure this has been released before as a variant, but you know, it's nice to have it again alongside a new box. Talking about the new box, which is here, and this is, you know, what we can talk about more. This is the same mould as the 7th Doctor and 1st Doctor box releases from around 2010-ish. The only difference this time, and Aldo actually pointed this out on the video, is that these TARDISes this year, this one and the other one, have a new base, so it looks to be a little bit thinner, looks to be a bit more sturdy, and probably a little bit more accurate as well, which is quite nice. Because the other classic boxes have like quite thick bottoms to them, very similar to that of the New Who boxes as well. So this actually looks a little bit, I don't know, maybe a bit more accurate, which is quite nice. So it's nice to know they're making improvements, you know, to make, you know, a little bit of accuracy here and there. What I also love about this is that it's a brand new version of this box. It's a repaint of older boxes, sure it is. So it's a used model and it's being brought here. But I love it. You know, it's very clearly the 5th Doctor's TARDIS. It's got its own unique colour. The windows have got a lovely yellowy tint to them. The police box sign looks great, all that sort of stuff. But the thing that I love the most is obviously the weathering on the box with the mud and the sort of, it's the slight paint jobs that they've done on the front there. It just looks gorgeous, and it looks like a different variant that would be great. You know, like you've got the 7th Doctor box, you know, maybe you've got your own custom 5th Doctor box, but this will be a nice extra to have because it's the 5th Doctor box from this specific story when it was like a little bit in the mud and a little bit messy, and yeah, a very nice one to have as part of the collection. So yeah, I'll absolutely be picking this one up. You know, I'm really excited about the TARDIS boxes. I always do get these ones, and this is no exception. Of course I'm going to be picking this up. It looks fantastic. Talking of fantastic, let's talk about the other box though, which personally is my preferred favourite. This is the 4th Doctor and TARDIS from Shada. We'll talk about the figure first. The figure first is just Tom Baker from Shada, so it's a little bit more of a colourful scarf, which is quite nice. It's got the pirate boots from Shada, I think it mentioned as well. And yeah, it's a Tom Baker figure. I don't think it's not like unique of a variant, but I've seen this one kind of customised a lot. Like people have actually customised their Tom Baker figures to have a really bright scarf, like this version here. But this actually seems to be, you know, somewhat new-ish, kind of. It's you know, it's obviously a repaint because we've had many 4th Doctors before, but this is kind of new. Talking about new, a new TARDIS box, I think it's the same basic mould for all the other classic TARDIS releases, yeah, sure, but it looks to be the same roof as the old 4th Doctor one. The only major changes, of course, the base from the previous mentioned one, and the light. The light is my favourite thing. So the Shadow box is kind of iconic in a little bit of a way for being quite unique. It has the sort of police siren light on top of it, and I love the fact that they've actually made this box. The fact that this is actually coming out and it's actually going to have that light there. Unfortunately, neither of these boxes are electronic, but you're not going to ask for that because realistically it's B&M, there's no way they're going to be able to push for that. But yeah, I love this. It's the colours kind of a mix between the 4th Doctor and 3rd Doctor releases from the last 2 ranges, but I just think this totally works. It looks like the box from that story. They've done a fantastic job with that. The red, pink and yellow kind of tinge on the windows works perfectly, and I think generally that might be one of my favourite, if not my favourite classic character options boxes that they release. That is absolutely gorgeous, and I will without a doubt be picking that up, so yeah. Next we've got our sort of figure collection sets, the sets of 3 different figures from all different eras of Who. Conveniently enough, what I have noticed going through this is there's no new Who stuff. It's all classic and Big Finish stuff, so that's quite interesting. And you know what, I'm not complaining either, because it's about time the classic range got a little bit of, development and a little bit of pushing going in, because there is a lot from the classic series that hasn't been made yet. Not that B&M and character options are going to be able to have the massive budgets to fund brand new molds and figures, but to create variations and ones that we haven't seen before is always a nice touch. Talking of nice touches, we have the first collector set for 3 figures. This is the 7th Doctor set, with obviously the 7th Doctor and 2 Cybermen from the Silver Nemesis. I believe those guns are brand new molds, which is quite fun and cool and interesting. And I believe the Cybermen have this sort of new paint job and obviously the new mold as well. I'm not sure if these Cybermen have been released as figures before. If they have, that's perfectly fine, but I think there's more of a silvery kind of paint job put on these Cybermen this time. And even if you've already got some Silver Nemesis Cybermen or anything like that, it's still nice to pick these up, because look at them, they look fantastic, they look proper. They just, you could almost mistake that for a costume, at a distance. That actually looks really good. The 7th Doctor's nothing too special, it's just a repaint of what we've had before. The handkerchief falling out the pocket, the scarf, the only difference really is that it's got the white jacket opposed to the brown. I'm just looking at the figure that I've got next to me on my display. This, to be honest, the 7th Doctor here does look nicer, but there is also another 7th Doctor set within this B&M release, so unfortunately, as much as I do love the look of this set, I don't think I'm going to be getting it. But let me know what you think. I think this is a pretty nice set, but I don't think it's my cup of tea. I want to get a new 7th Doctor, and I want to get a different variant, and that is covered towards the end of the video. But yeah, the next figure set we have is the 2 Doctors set. Conveniently enough, containing only 1 Doctor. We have a new Sontaran figure. Now, I'm not going to try and remember all the Sontarans' names, so don't push that against me if I can't remember the exact name of each individual Sontaran, but that is a Sontaran from that story. I don't know if it's a brand new mold. I think they've cut away some of the changes. They've actually made some changes to the original classic Sontaran figure. So it is technically a new variant or a new design as such. And I think it looks personally quite nice, the new Sontaran figure. What also looks nice is the Patrick Troughton with the grey hair. Looks quite nice. I don't know the context of the red eyebrows because I haven't seen this story, so don't judge us for that. But yeah, if that's accurate, that's there. And I think it looks quite nice as well. Again, it's a nice variant to have of the 2nd Doctor. And that's always what character options are mostly good at, is giving us new variants of stuff. We might not always get the new figures that we're desperate for, but we do get nice new variants of different Doctors. So it is, that is, I suppose, quite nice in a way. We've also got Perry there as well, who, yeah, there's nothing really to say much there. It's the costume from this story. I believe the costume is a new variant, and I think, yeah, the figure looks great. The figure looks fine. So yeah, that's a nice little bonus. No Colin Baker there, but there wouldn't be because there's nothing really new you can do with his costume in that story. So they're not going to re-release the same figure. They may as well give us something that we haven't had before. So that's quite interesting. But again, I haven't really seen the story, so it's not really that appealing to me. So I'm not going to be getting this set. The Sontarans, this is a good one, a bit of a 4th Doctor era one. We got 3 figures here, 2 Sontarans and 1 Harry Sullivan. Harry Sullivan, his figure, to me, doesn't look amazing. I don't think it looks, fab. I think it looks alright. But you know what, though? That is a brand new figure. Brand new head sculpt. With existing parts scrapped onto the body to make it work, obviously, because they're not going to just craft a new body for the sake of it if they've already got, the basic shirt sculpt. But you know what, though, I love it. I love the fact that they're making new figures. I love the fact that there is actually a unique, brand new figure here in the form of a very popular Tom Baker era companion. So that's good. I'm quite happy with that. You know, that's quite cool to have that companion released. And the Sontarans look quite good as well. They look a bit pale, a bit washed out a little bit. But yeah, I don't mind that. Like a bit smooth. So a bit toy-like. But yeah, no, I do like it. I think it works. It's nice that they've got the helmets with them, and it's nice that they got like a little prop in their hand as well there, because obviously previous B&M Rangers haven't always come with characters' props, so that's nice to see there. And the Sontarans look different enough that it is like two different variants opposed to it being just like the same figure in there twice for the sake of it. Because there's a thing when figures is like army building, that you could have a set of like 5 Cybermen exactly the same just to build an army of Cybermen. It's nice to have a few different variants, because although the Sontarans are meant to be like clones, you know, they are a little bit unique here, and that's quite nice, and I do like that. Moving on to the last 3 sets, we have the Big Finish ones. This is the first time Big Finish stories have had figures made about them. These, I believe, are all kind of variants, repaints, all that sort of thing. These sets come with 1 Doctor and 1 Dalek each. We'll start with the one that's already been confirmed and already been thrown about the internet for about a month now. This is the 8th Doctor and Dalek Interrogator Prime. This just shows the 8th Doctor in a brand new variant, having the costume from Dark Eyes. It's not exactly accurate to what's seen in the cover, because I think it uses the Christopher Eccleston jacket and costume, I believe, with a bit of a repaint. But that's not a problem. I mean, it looks good. It's great to have a new McGann variant, considering he's only had 2 on-screen appearances. So to get a Big Finish one's actually quite fun and a bit interesting and a bit different for people who like the character of McGann and people who listen to Big Finish. This will be a big deal for them, because obviously, you know, people who do custom figures can make their own version of a Dark Eyes McGann, but not everyone can do that. Not everyone has the resources or the ability to make their own custom figures. So this is fantastic for people who are big fans of Big Finish and didn't want to make their own. This is a great alternative. As is the Dalek, which is a brand new colour variant, brand new paint job here. I believe it's the wrong name. I think people went after that a while ago, but I don't care, to be honest with you, because again, these Big Finish stories, they're audio, so you're not actually seeing these on screen, these Daleks. So I've not got too much of a fondness to attention to detail when it's just in cover art. I think this Dalek looks pretty damn good. I really like it. Love the silver top, love the silver balls, bumps, whatever you call them. Yeah, I mean, that's what they are. Yeah, I think it looks nice. It's a nice new Dalek variant that I think it just looks really nice. I probably will get this one because I want the Dark Eyes McGann, and it's always nice to have a new Dalek variant on my shelf. So yeah, I think I will be getting this one, actually. But yeah, going on to another Dalek Big Finish set, we have the War Doctor and Dalek Scientist. The War Doctor has had a bit of a paint job. Seem to have removed his sort of scarf, which is a bit odd. I don't mind it, you know, it's not a massive deal. But comparing to the War Doctor figure that I've got right next to me, there is a bit of a paint job in the boots and the top to make it a little bit of a different colour, give it a bit of that sort of unique element. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like he comes with his screwdriver, neither does McGann, unfortunately, because the Dark Eye screwdriver would have been a lovely bonus. But yeah, it's a bit of a shame considering his hands are positioned like that, because it just looks a bit odd without the screwdriver. So maybe people want to like make their own out of milliput or something, that could also work. But yeah, the John Hurt figure isn't too much of a unique variant, because in the Big Finish story, you didn't really get his own like sort of new look, so it is what it is really. It's just a slightly repainted and re-edited John Hurt figure. The Dalek, on the other hand, again similar to the John Hurt figure, is just slightly re-edited and repainted Dalek from 2005 onwards. It's got a silver top dome, which is quite nice, and it's got more of the silver bumps, but the rest of it is just your standard bronze Dalek. To be honest with you, I think it looks quite nice, and I think it looks quite unique, but to be honest with you, it's not one that I'm going to pick up. I already have a John Hurt figure, and I have plenty of Dalek figures, and the Dalek paint sculpt and the War Doctor paint sculpts aren't really as unique enough for me to go out and pick this up, so I think I'm going to give this set in particular a bit of a miss, but I still love it. I still think it looks great, but I think we should move on to the last one, the 7th Doctor and Axis Strike Squad Dalek. This is a really interesting one. We'll start with the Dalek figure, since that's on the left on my screen. Again, a bronze Dalek, not much change. It's literally the same as the last one, other than painting the head silver and the balls silver. It's actually just painted them black instead. So that's fine. I don't mind that. It reminds me a little bit of the ones from Parting of the Ways. Obviously, they didn't have the black bumps, so slightly different yet again. And I actually don't mind. I think it looks fine. The Dalek looks fine. Healthy and normal is how I describe it. On the other hand, the 7th Doctor has had a lot of different changes, and I adore this. I absolutely adore this. I believe this is a brand new variation. You can see the jacket is a total just like repaint of the previous 7th Doctor figures, but I don't care because they've done it in such a way here where the scarf is different. Both scarves are different and all that sort of thing, and the jacket is a very different colour as well. This is actually meant to replicate his look in a few Big Finish stories, as well as his look in the beginning of the TV movie, which is actually quite exciting because we've never had that figure before. So to get that version of McCoy is quite nice as a little figure. As a bonus, I would have loved it if he had the longer hair. That's the only thing I would have, the longer hair from the TV movie, just to make it a little bit more unique for the head sculpt. But that being said, that would never be expected anyway. It's a different costume variant for the 7th Doctor that I personally quite like. Dalek isn't too unique. It is just a repainted Dalek, but I don't mind it. It's your bog standard basic Dalek that's had a bit of a repaint. So as much as the Dalek isn't great, despite the weathering and stuff, which actually does look great on all 3 sets, the 7th Doctor is so unique and just gorgeous to look at, so I absolutely will be picking this set up. Yeah, very, very exciting stuff. So that's me getting the 2 Tardis sets and 2 of the Dalek sets, I think. That's where I'm kind of standing on this. I'm not going to get any of the 3 figure sets, because I don't feel like I need to. There's nothing I really need out of those figure sets, although they do look very nice. But yeah, that's pretty much that. Right, so finally, after all that B&M stuff, we're going to talk about something quite important. So Alderwear posted this online for us all to enjoy, because obviously we were getting a little bit like, well, are we going to get some companion figures, are we going to get some new, because we got a 13th Doctor figure, and I actually think it was quite well received. Like, lots of people picked it up, lots of people really complimented it on its sort of new look. I love the neck design personally. If you want to check out my video reviewing the 13th Doctor figure, that is on the channel and available now, so you can go and check that out. I really love the figure, got it proudly on display. I think it looks really good, captures Jodie's likeness almost perfectly. But yeah, so here is the companion figures, and these I think are releasing around January next year when Series 12 airs. But that's just rumour and speculation. The companion set was meant to come out this summer, but got delayed. So I can only assume it will be delayed by about 6 months or so, which would make sense to correlate with the new series coming out. You know, that's more profit, more buys, all that sort of thing. But yeah, let's talk about what we can see here that's quite unique. Obviously we can't see any of the faces of the companions, that's a given, which is fine. I like to see the official reveal, to see the actual faces, but I'm sure the face sculpts are pretty good. We'll start from the left, probably the worst to be honest with you, Ryan. I don't know what that jacket is, I don't remember him ever wearing anything like that in any of the episodes. So that's a bit disappointing for me, personally, as I'm not a big fan of how they've done that. Although his head sculpt does look to be very close to Tosin Cole, especially the hair, I think looks almost unmistakably like him. I really like that, but the costume just seems a little bit basic. I don't really know what's on the inside, but I never remember him having a big collar on any of his coats. So that's a bit odd. What's worth noting here is that, and a lot of people complained about this, like, they're just reusing primeval molds. Yeah, of course they are. Why would they make new molds? Because this is a thing you need to think about. With new Doctor figures, yeah, you're gonna have to have new molds because the costumes are so wacky and different and weird and wonderful that you're gonna have something new to match the new Doctor, and that is the most important figure of the era because it's the Doctor, you know, everyone, you know, a bare minimum, if you're going to collect character options figures, the bare minimum you get is the Doctors, because those are the ones, the main characters, really. Whereas the companions, they always wear modern clothes. So if you've got figures in your range already that have modern clothes in a similar style, that all they need really is a repaint, then why not use those figure molds? Why not? I don't see the problem in using old primeval sculpts if it works. The only one here that doesn't work for me is Ryan. I think they should have done something different with that. I just don't think it looks great. Maybe it'll look different from the front, but personally, in my opinion, not great so far. On the other hand, Graham. Let's get a bit positive with this. From the back of the hair, you can see there that just, even to me, like from the hair and the way the head's shaped, like that is unmistakably to me like Bradley Walsh. Like if you showed that back of the figure to me and said like, oh, which Doctor Who character is that meant to be, I'd be like, that's Graham, easily. I really like what's done here. I really like the coat, the gloves. It's you know, again, it's reused Primeval figure stuff, but I actually really like what they've done because it fits Graham. It's actually one of his costumes. He wears a coat and he wears gloves occasionally, and he wears the jeans or trousers. Like, he's a normal modern day bloke who's going to wear those costumes, so I don't mind them reusing stuff for that. I actually really like how it looks. I think it looks decent, and I think that version of Graham will look quite nice on display. Yaz, I think, is probably the best looking figure here. I don't know if it's a new mould. I think there's actually some stuff in there from Primeval again, but the hair, the head, definitely new moulds. But the costume matches pretty much what she was wearing in the series, and I think It Takes You Away she was wearing that, and it worked really well. It looks quite good. You can probably see it's a work in progress with the buns on top of the head don't look too finished, but I like it. I like how they're really going adventurous with Yaz's hair, because they could have just had a cop-out version and just had the police uniform with the hat on, so you wouldn't have to do any of that wild hair. But yeah, they've done it properly. They've really went for it, and I think that figure will actually look, again, quite good on display. I just hope that Ryan's figure doesn't stand out like a sore thumb, really. And if it does, I'll just not have him on display when I eventually get this figure set. In the background, we've got the Tardis. This is the 13th Doctor's Tardis. It's a brand new mould. It's not using the classic boxes. It's not using the modern boxes. You can see it is a brand new mould to fit the 13th Doctor's console, to fit the 13th Doctor's box design. It has a handle in the right place. I presume that means it opens. It might not. Probably doesn't, because that never happens in the series. It's all got a lovely wooden effect. The windows seem frosted, which suggests it could be electronic and have an orange light coming through it, or a blue light or something. And there seems to be a lovely little custom light up there as well, which has been made nicely. It matches the box design really well for the actual show. The only thing I don't like about it is the Police Public Call box sign, the sticky out bits. They just don't have a wood grain effect on it. It just looks too smooth, and it just feels a little bit out of place for me. It wouldn't be a massive complaint if it does end up coming out like that, but I prefer it to have the wood grain, because all the classic boxes with the little outlier thing, they do have like wood grains in them, and I'm sure on this box that is the same. It's not smooth on the actual box, so it shouldn't be really smooth here, but it looks like that's what they're doing, and I'm not really going to complain that much. It's a very nitpicky thing, and I bet the box will still look lovely, and I think they've done a wonderful job with that. And finally, there seems to be something forming at Jodie's hips there. That is not part of the original figure, and looks to be a little bit like a bum bag, which makes me think that we might be getting a different variant of Jodie alongside these new releases. So a companion figure set, and maybe a Flight Control TARDIS set that comes with a new Jodie Whittaker variant. That wouldn't be too bad. Or maybe we're just getting a new Jodie figure and then the TARDIS separately. Who knows? Alderweir has posted photos before of the 13th Doctor with the red shirt here. Hopefully I'm showing you that on screen now, in the past, so maybe we'll see some of that in the future. Maybe the red shirt with the bum bag, even though that doesn't quite work and join with the episodes. I don't mind. It's a bit different, you know. It's doing a different variant without just changing the colour of the top. It's something a little bit different. I would have preferred to have the blue top with the scarf from Resolution. That would have been quite nice. Or maybe the Battle Around Scarf collars. Give the backpack and the thing on the side of her head. That would have been interesting. But yeah, no, I quite like the fact that they're still making new variants of 13, they're making new companions, they're still making new figures, and obviously a new TARDIS as well. And these figures seem to be coming out around January, so the delay between the series and the figures coming out actually shouldn't be that much. You know, it was over a year after the series came out for Bill's character to get Pearl Mackie's character Bill to get a figure, and she was already dead at that point. Whereas these characters are still alive and well, so it's a perfect time for, you know, to release them alongside the next series. That works perfectly fine by me, and I'm quite excited with that. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Sorry, it's been a bit of a long video. I want to break down everything and give my opinions on it. If you want to know, I'll be buying all the 13th Doctor range when it comes out, hopefully. And I've obviously already mentioned the B&M ones that I want to get as well. Let me know what you think, let me know what ones you're going to buy in the comments below, I'd love to know. And I'll see you all next time. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, comment below for any more suggestions in the future, subscribe with notifications, and if you haven't already, we're almost at 11k. We're really, really close now, so why don't you, give a guy a hand here. Help me out, get me to 11k, that's going to be exciting soon, probably. We have a Patreon page, which you can support the channel with. That's great, you get early access, exclusive content, that's a barrel of laughs. We've also got a Discord server as well, where you can talk about these figures and talk with other people and discuss, and that's a bit of fun. We've been doing that as the video went out, everyone was talking about it. And there's also some social media stuff in the description below as well, if you want to follow me on social media. I talk a lot on Twitter about things, so if you want to get my opinion on things, and usually my unwanted opinion on things, then you can follow me on Twitter, and that's always fun. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I'll stop rambling, and I'll let you get on with your day. Have a lovely day, and bye-bye.